Right then, let's do some more stuff. So I thought I'd just go for a little ride today, test out my location for my helmet mount on the top of my helmet. Right, here we go. So I actually store my motorbike out here in the sort of rural part of the landscape on this little farm. You can probably just see there. And the reason being is because I have a small business. I have a small business doing commercial cleaning, and it suits me to have a little storage area, and it means I can have a little man cave for my motorbike, so that's nice. Well, we'll go around this biker, I think, to try and adhere to the speed limits as much as possible. Right, so all I'm really doing is just going to have a little mooch around and see if I can show you a little bit of the roads and the whereabouts of the Netherlands that probably most people won't see unless you kind of live here. So I'm going to wing it a bit and just have a little ride round, and I think the destination for today is going to be a small area called Boskoop. So it's a B-O-S-K-O-O-P, or Boskoop. And in that area is quite a lot of plant growers, international plant growers, I would say. A lot of the plants that you find in your probably in your supermarkets on those trolleys, and you find them in your garden centres, of course. A lot of them are grown over here in the Netherlands, and they get shipped by truck over. Let's get past that van. Last thing you guys want to see is the back of a van for 20 minutes. And right, I have to pay attention on this silly junction because it's a giveaway to the right. There's no giveaway lines on the road there. Right, this is a 60k. Just coming into it now. There's the 60k mark. You'll notice there's a lot of lorries up and down this little, what is essentially a country lane. And that's because there's quite a lot of stuff going on around here. I'm in the area, on the edge of an area which is quite agricultural, but also they're growing plants for the consumer market and vegetables a little bit, stuff like that. Cut flowers, like roses and other kinds of cut flowers that you'll get in your flower arranging shops, that sort of stuff. And yeah, this is your typical landscape in the area around Gouda, but fairly typical of the whole western region of the Netherlands, I would say. Obviously, as you get towards the cities, you get more built up housing, etc. So I think what we're going to do here is we're actually going to turn left and go back round, and we'll go, instead of going on the bigger roads, we'll try and choose the smaller ones, just to give you a little view of, well, the smaller roads in and around what we might call countryside. Now this is kind of interesting. He's got like a mower arm. There we are, look, he's cutting a bit of grass, look, with his little flail mower. There you can see to my left there a lot of greenhouses. Well, this is all greenhouse. This is greenhouse country where I am at the moment, really. as I say, they're growing all kinds of things here, from little trees, things that you might use for hedging, climbing flowering plants, stuff like that. I think it's quite a nice area to live. I mean, if you don't mind living around the industry, you know, these houses are quite nice, aren't they? Nice little gardens. It's quite a sort of villagey community kind of feeling if you live here, because everybody knows everybody. Everyone's turning off, good for me. Let's cruise on up here. There's a big company here selling roses. This is a cut flowers, roses on a stem kind of thing. And actually, so this is the Porta Nova there, this big building here. They're both sides of the road. Actually, it's quite a big business. And inside those greenhouses there that you can see, they're growing these roses 24 hours, so it's all lit up at night. And actually, this greenhouse to my right here that you're looking at now, to be honest with you, lights up the whole area at night, especially in the winter, because obviously the nights are longer. It's quite strange. It's just twilight the whole time. It's very strange. So there we go. Nice bit of farmland. Checky. Nothing coming. So having not planned a route, essentially I've just done a little circle and I'm almost back to where we started, so that we can follow the little roads. So as I say, look, again, you can see a big truck coming down this tiny little road, and it's unbelievable. I can tell you, it's all day, you know, it's a constant flow of goods coming in and out. It's quite incredible, actually. It's mad. There's a little mirror up there so I can see nothing's coming, so we'll swoosh around the corner nice and gentle. Cancel my indicator, check my mirrors. Nice clear bit of road. Speed hump, obviously. Speed humps. Oh, the Netherlands is full of speed humps. They love a speed hump over here. Traffic calming. And these are very typical Dutch roads. Very well maintained. Don't often find, you know, potholes, and when they do appear, they're fixed very quickly. But very flat, kind of boring in many ways. So this is beautiful, you know, nice and open. Very windy out here usually. Today is a calm day. You can actually see the windmills in the distance there. They're not turning at all. So some nice moo cows. And this is cool. You'd think this was a Roman road, wouldn't you? It's so straight. But nice little country lane. We've got ditches either side, so pretty much everywhere around here is all a network of ditches, dikes and waterways. Yeah, I don't know exactly this exact area I'm in, but most of the land around here is reclaimed from the sea. I don't know if the area I'm currently in is definitely that, but I imagine so. So this would have all been under the water. So the way they drained the land, I'm led to believe, is yeah, they set all those windmills up, the old-fashioned ones, to drive pumps and pump the water off the land. And in the process they then revealed very fertile, rich land full of peat, because they were peat bogs that you could grow crops in and or use for heating, because as we know, peat is a, you know, it's a heat source. You can burn it for heat. So right, we're coming into a bit more of a built up area now. This is the very, very edge of an area called Waddinxveen, and here we're on a 30 km/h road, which I'm struggling to do. And I think it's fair enough, you know. Look at these are all new, beautiful houses. In fact, I think I prefer the little old ones to my left here. I think I'd prefer to live in one of those. Have a smaller mortgage. Now it's dead end to my left, so you have to turn right. And then to the left now. How window cleaners, look out with their pole. Definitely takes 2 blokes to do that. Alright, whatever. Someone getting a new roof, look, and a bit of gardening done. Of course, all happening in this street. Right, we're going to do a little left on this roundabout. Nothing's coming. Got my indicator on anyway. Indicate to get off. Do a lifesaver. You know the tricks. So here's a good example. Look, there was obviously a bit of naff bit of road, and that's all just been recently repaired. That's fresh. I think that's been done in the maybe last night. You can still see the marks on the ground where the lorries were putting the tarmac down. Hope it doesn't get all stuck all over my bike. Right, I'm going to do a little nifty here because I live around in this area. I kind of know all the little. Look at this beautiful little bit of pond. Look, people fishing. All the geese out there grazing. Quite a number of geese. Look, must be a lot of geese poo on the floor there. Goose poo. Back down into a 30. I'm going to hang a left here. Now, just I don't know if you can see that on the floor there where the bike path is. There's got the little triangles. That means that they've got to give way. It's like a little give way line. So through that little piece there, I had right of way. But it is well worth knowing that if you come to the Netherlands and you're going to ride around, bikes tend not to stop. They just keep going, you know. So you really got to keep your wits about you and make sure you're looking out for the bikes at all times. Typically the bike lanes are red, even though I'm on a red road now. It kind of denotes that it's a 30 as well. So right, so we're going to go up that little bump, and we've got a bike lane to cross and onto the car lane. So there we go, we're now on the road again, back up to a 50. Might be worth noting the price of the fuel here. It's in mid-July 2004. It's €2.04 a litre for basic unleaded, and about €2.20 something for higher, you know, 98. I've got to watch out for this bike here. That van just didn't stop. A little biker, give him a nod. I don't do the wave. They do a wave over here. Right, well, we're coming up now to this lovely bridge here, and this is a bridge. This is the Waddinxveen bridge, and there's a river underneath, and if there's a boat coming, it will go up in the air. Just going to lift my visor up. Hopefully we won't have to stop for too long here. So there's 2 of these bridges actually. This one here, and there's one a little bit further up. We will go past it, or maybe we won't. Not sure. We might go past it, but they're the same. They both look exactly the same. And I was told by a local guy that actually they were built at the end of the war because there wasn't really any work for the people to do, so they kind of put these bridges in just to give them something to do, kind of thing. So I'm guessing they're, you know, getting upwards towards the 100-year mark. Pop my visor back down again so we don't spoil the audio, me talking crap. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go straight on, and then I can really show you the little tiddly widdly roads and try and talk about how the road network works a little bit over here, because it's kind of a lot going on because of the bike lanes. You see here you've got the red paths on either side. So that's a bike lane, and really the bit that we can drive on is the middle bit here. But it's still a two-way road, so we then have to cross into the bike lane to get cars to pass you. Again, it's a 30k look here, so I'm just going to keep up with the flow of traffic and follow this Volkswagen Tiguan. I've got a handsome guy on a scooter in a wife beater behind me. If you can see that in a mirror, it'd be funny if you could. And yeah, so this is quite it's not that beautiful here really, but it's still mixed with you know, there's buildings where you're working right next to your houses. And as per usual, this douchebag on the scooter wants to over or undertake me because of clearly we're not going fast enough, even though we're 10k over the limit. I hate these pushy scooter riders, really annoys me. And it's up to them if he wants to ride around in a tank top and flip-flops. Right, we're coming to the end of this little narrow two bike lane kind of affair now, and we are going to turn left. Unfortunately the Tiguan is too. I might just give it a little squirt and go past them if I can. Yeah, go on then. Why not? We're on a motorbike after all. Now we've got a nice open road for you to see. So here's what I was talking about with the water. So we've got this what's a stagnant water really. This is a little bit like a canal, I suppose, and then below it is the farmland, and then you've got the dike holding the walls up of the water. So this purely for irrigation really. And all of these waterways are linked typically, and the water levels are controlled via big computer systems, and basically the whole country the water levels can be adjusted. So if you're in a very hot period and the farmers are constantly watering the ground, they can start pumping water back into the land from reservoirs and lifting, you know, artificially raising the water levels everywhere. And there will be areas that are, you know, it's kind of a stockpile of water that they can then shift about. And they do it quite a lot in Gouda. There's a big lake next to me, and they do it quite a bit there, where they're pumping the water in and out, depending on what they need. So it's quite interesting really. Right, here we go, we're into the sort of plant growing zones now, and yeah, this is more heavily industrialized, I guess. There's sort of less and less houses and more growing land. Still a bit farmy. This patch out on the right here behind these houses is quite obviously farmland. You've got I've got to be honest, for the amount of land out there and the amount of cattle, I reckon I could count the cows. I bet there's no more than 50 cows out there. Maybe 65 cows. It seems like a lot of grass for 65 cows. But anyway, each one of these little houses, look, got their own little private bridge. I'd have like a drawbridge, so I could close myself off and pretend I was rich. So there you go, look, there's a little plant grower there. Look, you can see them, everything out on little canes under watering systems. And guy out there, look, picking the weeds out of the pots. Lavenders, I think, there, look, thousands of them. And of course the plant growers use the water from the slopes, the ditches. They'll have a filtered pump, you know, and that will pump to all the little sprinklers, and yeah, they'll be watering their plants with the water. So little crossroads there. Would you want to live out here? I think if you spoke really good Dutch and to the point where you could fit in, because it's a bit cliquey here, you know, I think it would be tough to live in this kind of area as a foreigner. I think you would be quite isolated. I do know a lady actually that lives out here, and well, I think she has a pretty nice life, but it's not for me. I think if you're going to come here to the Netherlands, probably better to stick to the cities where people speak a lot of English, unless you seriously want to immerse yourself in the Dutch language, in which case this is the place for you. Some fairly sizable houses for Dutch standards, little standalone houses. Again, this sort of strange network. In the distance now, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, you can see the other bridge that I was talking about, the identical bridge. In fact, I'm now backtracking, and I think the first one was the Waddinxveen bridge, and this is the Boskoop bridge. But they are the same style bridge. I think we'll turn off before we get there. So yeah, this area is yeah, it's a hodgepodge, isn't it? It's sort of like a mixture of people living here and working here. Actually, I'm also led to believe that back in the day, essentially the way you kind of showed your wealth was by having the shortest commute from your work to your home, if that makes sense. So if you had made a lot of money, the way you could show that is by having your place of work behind your house, and that's sort of the way you could show off. So you do see those kind of houses relatively frequently, if I'm honest. Oh, another little bike lane next to us now. Just watch out for that car pulling out onto me. No, she's seen me. So back over the little river that we went over a minute ago, back over this bridge that looks the same as the other one. And this is the little, what would you call this? Village, I guess. Yeah, well, little tiny shopping centre here, like a shopping street, little baby one. You can just see it there, both sides. The typical sort of high streety kind of shops that you get everywhere, and little scooter shop there. So interestingly, actually, with the scooters, there's kind of two types. So they've got what's called a snorfiets and a bromfiets. So my understanding of those two separate types of scooters is you get up to like a 49cc, and with those you get a blue number plate. We'll see if we can spot one. And on the blue number plates you can, in many cases, ride on the bicycle paths, unless it says specifically that you can't. And the yellow ones you can ride on, the yellow plated ones you can ride on the road unless it says you can't. So there's a lot going on. You've got bicycles, mopeds, scooters, different paths, different speed limits, and none of it's particularly well signposted. Yeah, kind of, but not. So it's a shame we're stuck behind this tractor towing a tractor. Not much to see at the back end of this trailer. Again, construction going on everywhere. There's a big concrete pump there. They're building a whole crap load of houses in there. I think I'm going to turn right here purely because I'm sick of the sight of the back of that trailer. So this is the train station of Boskoop. If you're going to come here, then I can only imagine you must be able to rent a bicycle somewhere, you know, by the train station. If you're arriving by train, not sure if it's really a tourist destination, if I'm perfectly honest with you, unless you're really into your plants. You're going to drive along in the middle of the road, love? Lovely. Again, unless you've got really good local knowledge, mostly I don't think anyone would ever come to this area particularly. You know, this is just the housing estate. There's nothing. Oh look, there's a Lotus there. Nothing too exciting to see just for the moment. So this is kind of typical. We're just coming up, obviously we've got to follow this fan, but we're just coming up here to you see this little bridge. So there will be a little tiny waterway. I'll slow down so you can see it. A little tiny waterway, look. And on the little, if you've got a little boat, you can come through there and the bridge lifts up and you can get through. That's kind of fun, isn't it? Right, back out onto the sort of more rural road as we were before. And wow, this doesn't really go anywhere. This is just you know, this is just a road to access more housing and agricultural areas. So I think you're getting a bit of a vibe for what it's like around the back of Boskoop. There we go, look, we're now leaving the area of Boskoop and it says tot ziens. That's kind of like see you soon. Back up into a 60, which is good because I'm getting quite hot. It's 24 degrees now. This old boiler is probably cycling home for his lunch at work. It's the lovely smell of silage and cow poo in the air around here. When you look at these setups, like look at this, look. I mean, just the money that these guys have spent on that. He's got some guts. Discussing the flowers, look. So this is yeah, this is really the rurally bit now. I mean, it's kind of beautiful in its own way, but there we go. Greenhouses and plants. I'll tell you what I'll do, look. I will stand up and you'll be able to see just miles and miles of little tiny pots of plants, look. Millions of them, literally millions of them. So all of those plants you get in the garden centres, there you go. This is where they're grown under, yeah, under all of these conditions. And this area is pretty massive, you know. And there's just millions and millions and millions of plants grown here every year. Well, look, they're growing them out on tables there, look. So what happens is that those tables, they slide along, see that? They're sliding along on the wheels and they can take them to the end and pick them up. Look, there you go. Very clever sort of automated system. So to my right there is a cycle track for bicycles. So the cycle network is set up. It's like cars always have to go the long way round, and bikes always have like the cut throughs. and it's deliberately designed that way to try and encourage you to cycle. Look, we're in the middle of bum F nowhere, and this is a brand new bit of road, and I can tell you, I ride around here occasionally, there was nothing at all wrong with the tarmac here whatsoever. And there's so much money, because the taxes are so high, that they're like, righto, let's gun that bit up and resurface it nice and smooth. Just wouldn't see this in Surrey, would you, in England? Can't remember the last time I saw a brand new road in the UK. Oh, I think most of them like to make an effort, don't they? Show off their gardens. I've got to be honest with you, I'm not totally sure where I'm going now. I'm going to go left, I think, because that'll take me back in. Come on, Grandma. So look at this big water bund. Look, you see how they stockpile the water, so when it rains a lot they can pump it all into there, and then when the drier weather comes they've got a big stockpile of rainwater for feeding the plants, for watering the plants. Look at these tiny little potted plants there. They're like little rock garden plants. God, there's so many of them. Wonder how many millions of euros there is just in my sight line. Must be loads. In fact, I was talking to a guy yesterday, as it happens, and he was saying that one company near him, they've closed because they just I think what happened was they just got a bit too big, and then they ended up having so much stock left over that their costs outweighed their income, so they've gone bust. It just shows you that you shouldn't, overreaching can be dangerous, greed. At some point you've got to know when enough is enough. I find it quite a common theme to be greedy. Humans are greedy. We're all greedy. I'm no different. We're all greedy, aren't we? Come on, Lobie. This guy's got the biggest earlobes. You can't see it on the camera, but I can tell you. He's about 300 years old and he had earlobes the size of tanks. So there you go, I've sort of shown you a little bit of the area of Boskoop and the surroundings. And I've had a little chat along the way. I'm just now heading back out towards the sort of more main road areas where I'm gonna pull over and switch you off. Got a feeling my battery is going to get pretty low soon, so look at these lovely houses, eh? I mean, the houses are lovely, but the location for me is a bit meh. I mean, to my right in there, that's just a big trading estate. Where do you live? Oh, I live next to the trading estate. Nice. Okay. Right then, I think I'm going to just pull over in this last parking spot here and sign off. Safely, pull over safely. Right, well, as per usual, thanks for watching, and I hope I can turn this camera off without too much of a faff, and take care for now. Bye.